Welcome to KrustyKraft Season 9. We're an adult bedrock survival world where players build massive projects, create incredible stories, and become part of a community that never stops growing. Minecraft is the game that we all play, and KrustyKraft is the world that we all play on. Discord is what keeps us connected and up to date on all the fun activities and events on KrustyKraft. Discord is the town square of KrustyKraft. It's where players talk, plan builds, organize events, share ideas, and stay connected with the rest of the community. Staying active in Discord is the best way to get the most out of your experience here on KrustyKraft. And this video is going to show you how to do exactly that, so get ready to have the most fun that you've ever had in Minecraft. Right now, all of you should be just about as excited as this little guy right here. And as funny as that is, let's go ahead and get started with the Discord tour. The first thing I'd like to bring to your attention is this little box right here, where it says the server requires members with moderation powers to have multi-factor authentication. You cannot take any moderation action until you enable it. If you click this resolve button right here and you come on down, you can go ahead and click enable authentication app, and it'll go ahead and get rid of that stupid little window for you. Go ahead and go through the prompts, and then this will go away. All that is a multi-factor authentication, which keeps our server extra safe. Once you get multi-factor authentication, your screen will look more like this. You won't have this blue bar at the top though. I have that because I'm viewing this as a Krusty member and I'm an administrator, so it's telling me that at the top. KrustyKraft also has events that you and your friends can be a part of and do things in groups or even on your own. And we also have channels and roles which you can learn more about the entire server right here. There's multiple sections in the Discord, and the first section right here is important. The important section right here will have all of these chats just like this. It's going to have the announcements, the welcome, rules, the info, and the support. The support channel being the most important I'll cover right now. This is where if you need to talk privately with the moderator team or the administrator team, you can go ahead and open up a ticket where only they can see it. The section after that is the Krusty Crew section. This is where all of the communal talking happens. As you can see here, this is the Krusty Crew chat. This is basically where all of the day-to-day conversation happens right here. Then we also have introductions, images, where we also have food images if you're a foodie like some of the people on here, including myself. We also have suggestions. If you do a suggestion, we'll show you how to actually properly implement that. And then also boxes. This is really cool right here. The next section is the activity section, which is a little bit different from the rest. It's a thread and not just our normal chat. Up here in the Krusty Crew section, these are just what you call normal chats. You can tell this is a thread by this forum limited sign right here, and how these little chat bubbles are right there in the top left hand corner. That means that it's a thread, which means if you click on it, it's going to have multiple chats inside of it, just like this. These are all different chats, and if you click on one of them, you can see that there's a little text inside of there where you can go ahead and chat about what you're doing inside of that particular chat. And so there's a bunch of different sections in here, which we'll all go through over the tour. And then, of course, one of my favorite sections, the voice channels. The voice channels is where we all hang out and we talk. And the voice channels, as you can see, there was a couple of us here earlier. If we go there right now, you can see that me, Rets, and Toby are just sitting in here kind of chilling. I've been making video clips as we've been going along, but we've been chilling in here and having fun today. So, yeah, this is where you hang out with your friends and you can talk and hang out and chat. We also have multiple chats, so if chats become too full and there's too many people, you and your friends can go ahead and go to a separate chat, and then even if you wanted a better chat, you could go to private VC, and that's where you can actually limit the amount of people that are allowed in your chat. And just below the voice channels, we have promotions. In here, this is where you can actually advertise not just stuff in the server, but also other videos. So if you have media, that means you can go ahead and click on here, and you can go ahead and see what other people are posting, videos and pictures and whatnot. But as you can see, there's live streams, there's YouTube videos, there's Twitch streams, there's a bunch of different stuff in here. So go ahead and go in there and watch all the people that are playing on the server, see what they're up to. And just below promotions, we have the project section. The project section is all the different projects that we have going on the server. And in the server we have bases, which is one of the coolest ones because this is where you can post things about your own base. And everyone here has posted things about their base, and you can see in here, this is another thread chat. You can tell by the chat bubbles there on the side. So you have to click on this and a bunch of more chats are going to drop down, and you can see what everybody's been up to in here. But there is a ton more chats in this section, including other projects. So as you can see, there's Biome Box, there's Nether Hub. This is a big project that we had. Utopia is another thread chat. All of these are threads, so you have to open these up in order to see the other chats inside. All of these inside here are just like normal chats. You just have to open this section to get to this section to get to this section. So it's kind of like a little bit more embedded. That's the only thing about a thread. So it works the same way, and I know it's confusing to some people, which is why I made this video. And so down here we have games, and we have a bunch of other cool things down below: the end, redstone, the tavern, crossroads, the markets. And so these are all different things that you can use to go ahead and get in tune with the server and what they're doing project wise. There's also some really cool bots on the server. There's server chat and there's Piggy. Server chat allows you to actually talk into game chat from Discord, so you can text your friends inside the game while they're playing, and you can do that right from Discord while you're shopping at the mall or at school or anything else that you happen to be doing. And of course, down below is where you started when you first got here, was the recruits chat. So as you can see down here in the recruits section, there's recruits chat, which you can talk to all the people that are joining but haven't become a member yet. This is a good thing to do. Welcome new people as they come on to the server, to be warm and welcoming, because that's the environment that we want to promote here on KrustyKraft. And then down below, there's showcases and library, where you can go ahead and see all the different things and the different seasons of all of KrustyKraft. And of course, below that is the recruitment section, which you've already gone through and you passed that, so we'll be skipping that section in the tour. I'm glad you're happy about that. So now that we've covered all of the different sections, let's go ahead and cover everything in a little bit more detail. First thing is we're going to do is we're going to come up here to this drop down right here. In this drop down, you're going to see these top 3 things. We're going to cover these really quick. Server boosts. Server boost is a really cool thing. It does cost money, but you can actually boost the server and it actually gives it more perks. If you watch this video right here, you can actually learn more about it and see all the different perks that you can actually help us achieve. But we do have 16 boosts currently, so there are people that do give the server boost, but it does cost money, and people do donate to that, which is actually pretty cool that we have that, because it does add to the fun that we have here, and it gives us a bunch of different cool little perks. Also, server tag down below here, you're going to see this little KK next to a lot of people's names for KrustyKraft. And if you adopt the tag right here, if you click that button, it'll actually show up next to your name. And that way, when you go into other servers, other people in other servers will be able to see that at your name, and they can even click on it and find out that you play on KrustyKraft. They could potentially get here and become a new recruit. And then underneath the server tag is the invite to server. If you click on this, you can search for your friends, you can invite them, or you can come down here and copy the link and send it to whoever you want. This will allow them to go ahead and join the server, and that way they can go through the recruitment process. Feel free to let them know what the recruitment process kind of entails, because it's actually pretty easy once you get through it and you realize that it's not as scary as it actually kind of seemed in the beginning. Everything else in the entire dropdown is pretty much personal preference. App directory, there's a bunch of different apps that Discord has, like including like YouTube and Spotify and whatnot. You can check those out. Show all channels, I would definitely suggest clicking this on. This is a personal preference, but I do have it on because I want to see everything that's going on. Notification settings, you can choose whatever you want, but I also have all messages on just like that. That is definitely something that I would suggest having on, so that way you're pinged and in tune with everything. And then privacy settings, you can set these to whatever you like. These are up to you. And then of course down below that we also have edit per server profile. That'll edit how your profile looks here in the server. And then hide muted channels. I don't have that on because I don't want to hide anything. I want to know about everything that's happening. I should also mention that the first thing is that right here, this KrustyKraft SMP, this is the server that we are going to be in here on the left hand side, which is this blue K right here, which looks really cool. This is the server that you're going to be in, and the name KrustyKraft SMP should be right here at the top. And just as a disclaimer, this is on PC. I know on mobile it looks a little bit different, so if you have any questions about learning this on mobile, feel free to let me know down in the comments, or go ahead and go on Discord and ask anybody in the KrustyKraft chat. But for the most part, most of this is going to look exactly the same. So we're going to go ahead and come back over here, and that's pretty much covers everything in the drop down menu. Also too, over here there's the invite to server. You can go ahead and do that again and invite your friends to the server right here, and you can do all that from this little button right here. Down below this whole picture, you'll see events. We usually have events planned ahead of time, so that way you can go ahead and click on this and find out what's going on in the realm. And if you come down here, you can see that this is one of the really cool events that's actually happening tomorrow, and it's happening tomorrow for me at 12 p.m., which is right at noon. So it'll actually show you the time for your time zone, and that way you know exactly when it's happening, at which date it's happening, and what event is actually taking place, and how you can participate and get involved. If you want to get involved, I suggest clicking the interested button right here, which as you can see I have, and you can also click the copy link button and go down into any of the other chats and build some hype up just by talking about it and posting that link. That way other people can show that they're interested in it too. And right below the events, we have channels and roles. In channels and roles, you can actually learn more about the server all on your own right here. You can customize this if you want to, but this is really the browse channels. This is the one that you really want to learn the server with. And this one kind of breaks everything down and shows you what everything is, and it kind of just allows you to kind of customize your whole channel setup. As you can see, I have everything checked because I do want to view everything, and I want to be aware of everything that's happening. All right, the important section. This is the most important section there is. The first chat in the important section is the announcements. The announcements is the most important thing here, and especially if you see a number 1 next to it or multiple numbers next to it, that means that you've been pinged in it, which means there's something important for you to know. And as you can see right here, the Sunday announcements. This is the day that we choose to do all of our big announcements. So be sure that we check that out once a week, because there are smaller announcements that come out throughout the week, but this is the one that we actually ping the Krusty member at, so that way you at least know that this is the important one that you really want to check out. What's important in here? The weekly Krusty coins. If you've got Krusty coins, your name will be right here. As you can see, I've actually won Krusty coins right here, which is actually pretty awesome. So I need to go collect those in the keep, which you saw in the World 2 in the last video. And down here you can see the bi-weekly events. You can check out the activities and find out what's going on this week in the competitions. You'll also be able to see anyone who won any of the competitions and all of the runners-up, and also funny messages along the way. Other announcements that come out throughout the week won't ping you, but they're still important and you should check them out. And you're going to want to keep your eye out for announcements like this that show you where all of the fun events are. And as you can see down here, there's 3 different events that are all happening on the same weekend. This weekend was a lot of fun. Just underneath the announcements is the welcome chat. In welcome, you can see that everyone is joining, and you can see what their names are. Paul, Smilemore. You can see that this person just has an M on their name. This person left actually McDonkey. And you can see who's coming and going on the server, and you'd be surprised that a lot of people do join and then leave right afterwards because they're scared of the recruitment process. But for the people that are staying and you notice that here in the welcome chat, then you can go ahead and look their name up and go all the way down here to the recruits chat down here. And if you come on down here, you can go ahead and talk to them in this chat and ping them and have a conversation with them. And for those of you that are new to Discord, to ping someone, all you have to do is do the @ symbol, and you're going to see a bunch of names pop up. You can go ahead and select any one of them, and it's going to go ahead and ping that person. When a person gets pinged, you're going to see that there's a number in the chat right there, so they're going to know which chat they actually got pinged in. There's a 1 next to the KrustyKraft chat because I've been pinged in that one. And then you can also see in the KrustyKraft SMP, I also have a number 1 next to the server. So even if I'm in a different server, I can see that I've got a ping right there. So I need to go ahead and open up this server and check out what there is for me. As you guys can see, I'm in voice chat with my friends here, and I asked Toby to go ahead and just ping me right here in the chat so I could give you guys that example. But let's not forget, we are talking about the welcome chat. So that's how you can go ahead and talk to people and figure out how new people are joining the realm and what they're like and who they are. So underneath the welcome chat, there is the rules. Down here in the rules is where you can kind of remind yourself of all of the Discord rules and all of the server rules, kind of the ones that you read when you first came in, except these ones are just kind of refined for the members because there's not all the things where, like the instructions where it says I agree to all the KrustyKraft rules, which you did in your application, and that's why you're watching this video now. But if you're ever questioning something about whether or not something is allowed on the realm, right here is probably a good spot to go ahead and check out and see if it's allowed or not. And if you don't know if it's allowed or not, then what you could actually do is you could go ahead and come down here to the support channel right here. You come down to support, you can go ahead and do an administrator ticket or a moderator ticket where it says moderator support and admin support, and that'll make it to where either just the top 3 admins can see your ticket or all 10 moderators can see your ticket. But nonetheless, you can choose which one you want and how you want to let us know about whatever you want to talk to us about. When you open up one of these tickets, it's going to work exactly like your recruitment ticket did in the very beginning. So that kind of covers rules and support, and in the middle of those two, we do have info. Here you can learn all about different information that we have here on the realm. This is quite an extensive chat. You can go ahead and check this out and see what there is in here to learn. And that just about covers everything to do with the important section here on the KrustyKraft server. Down below, we have the Krusty Crew section, and in the first chat, we have the Krusty Crew. This is basically where everyone just kind of chats and gets along and hangs out and has a casual conversation. Down below Krusty Crew, we also have the introductions. If you come down here in introductions, you can see that this is an introduction for everyone who's kind of introducing themselves to the server. And you don't have to do this, but this is completely optional. Some people have face pics, some people have a little welcome message to, hi, I'm so-and-so, and you can kind of get to know all the people that there are in the realm. And I keep catching myself calling it a realm, but it is a server. It is a Bedrock server. But underneath introductions here, we do have images and food images. Inside of images, you can go ahead and throw images of Minecraft stuff, in real life stuff, whatever it is that it is. But nonetheless, this is where you kind of want to keep images of any kind. We do have a special section for food images because we had a lot of food going in there, and we're like, you know what? We should probably create a whole different thread just for food. Just below images and food images is the suggestions channel. Inside of suggestions, you can actually make your own suggestion, and if it gets up to 10 upvotes, then that means that it's going to have to get talked to by the administrators. To create a suggestion, all you have to do is go down here in the chat, and you're going to type in !suggest, just like this. Then you're going to hit enter, and you're going to come down below, and you're going to go ahead and put in your suggestion, like, I suggest that all of you subscribe to my channel. There. There, and then if we go ahead and do that, it'll pop up as a proper suggestion there, and it'll give us an upvote and a downvote. And if it gets up to 10 upvotes, then the administration team has to bring it up in their next meeting. In order to upvote or downvote something, all you have to do is come down to both of these emojis. The up one is the upvote, and the down one is the downvote. And you can do one or the other, or both, but really, why do both? You just do one or the other, right? And so that's how you make a suggestion, and just underneath the suggestions chat is the boxes chat. Down here, we actually covered a lot of this inside the World Tour when we checked out the Loot Crate stations and the Biome Box stations. In this chat, you can see what all of those boxes have in them, so you can see what they have before you buy it. And so as you can see, this chat is rather important if you're going to be purchasing those items. You would definitely want to know what you're purchasing before you buy it. And just underneath that is the activity section. So the entire activity section is a little bit different from the rest of the whole chat, and that's because we wanted to make it to where it was a little bit more user-friendly because of the way the whole chat's set up. Now, threads has seemed to confuse some people, so I wanted to make sure that I clarify how you use threads. If you click on activities, you'll see that there's these chat bubbles right here, and it says forum limited just like that on the side. And you'll see that there's all of these different chats, but you'll see under here that I only see 3 drop down underneath. So that's where the confusion kind of comes in, because people wonder why they don't show up right here, and it's because we don't really want to annoy everyone who's not part of that activity. Only the people that are going to be part of that activity are going to be notified of it, and they're going to be the ones checking these out. So that's kind of the reason why we wanted to do this, is that way if you're just building your own project and you want to be left alone, then you can be, and if you want to get involved with a project or an activity, then you can, and then you'll have access to all of this. And so if you click on this activities chat right here, you'll get this chat over here on the side with all of these different chats inside. That's how threads work. And so if we go into the gaming district competition, you can see that here is all of the different things. Tic-tac-toe is this week's game, so people are going to be going over there and playing that game and competing for Krusty Coins. Inside the storytime thread, people actually go ahead and make an entire story. As you can see right here, this is the kind of the description, the plot for the entire story, and this is an announcement that happens at the beginning of a bi-weekly cycle. Every 2 weeks we have new events and activities, and so every 2 weeks you have a new story plot that you can choose from. And so down below you can see that Toby and Amanda, they actually went back and forth quite a bit. And there's a few people that like to participate in this, and it's actually a lot of fun. If you go ahead and write some stories, everyone starts doing a different section where this happens and that happens, and it becomes a lot of fun. But there's also events and activities that happen inside the server. Down below that, we have build contests where you can actually go ahead and build the theme, which is in full bloom. You can read all of this and figure out what you're supposed to build, and you can build it anywhere on the realm usually, and it'll be something that you can participate in this and actually earn yourself some Krusty Coins. As you can see here, first place is going to get 35 Krusty Coins, second place is going to get 25, and third place will get 15, and so on and so forth. Every 2 weeks, all of these activities change. All you have to do is go inside of each chat and actually see what's going on that week. If you want to go ahead and pause the video and take some time to go ahead and check out all of these chats, you can go ahead and do that. And then when you're done checking that out, the next section is the voice channel section. The voice channel section is my favorite section because I love talking to everybody and saying hi and hello and seeing how everyone's doing. And so if you go into the first chat, you can see that I'm actually in here. I'm muted right now. And so we have Leo and Toby and Rets. They're all hanging out today. And down here at the bottom, you can see that you have all of these different things. You can actually do face cam if you wanted to. You can share your screen. There's actually some permissions. Let's see here. You do not have permissions. Oh, I have these, but you don't, I guess, because I'm an administrator. But nonetheless, soundboard. If you're deaf, these are disabled, but you can actually use the soundboard, which has a bunch of different crazy sounds. Go ahead and hop into party chat and play with these and find out what they all are. And then, of course, down here you have more options. These are all your personal preferences, so go ahead and play with this if you want to. You can go ahead and check that out. And then up here in the top, most people don't know about this, but the voice channels actually have a text section. So if you come right over here, you can see that. Look at this. I don't work here. This was me at work the other day. And this is some of the stuff that we want to build. So I was talking to people in chat, and I was sharing with them some of the ideas and things that we were talking about. So the end project, we're actually trying to build this right now in the end. That's one of the projects that is actually taking place. By the time you get here, this may be in progress or actually finished, where I'm actually hoping that that'll actually move along quickly enough to be finished in the near future. But nonetheless, we got a lot of cool plans, and we want to carry those out. And when it comes to coordinating and organizing events and things, it's much easier to do that in voice chat. And not only that, it's fun to just hang out with your friends. I often hang out at work, like as you saw in that chat. We actually were hanging out at work right here, and I was at work chatting in the chat just because I had some time. And it's awesome to have the day go by and hang out with your friends. But the popularity of the chat does fluctuate. Sometimes there's up to 20 people in here and everyone's just getting along. Some other times there's even more people where there's actually a second members group where you can actually go ahead and leave the chat group and actually go over to the second chat and create a different voice chat where people can join you over there. And again, down here, there's even a private voice chat down here, and you can control how many people actually are in there. Here, as you can see, if you come in here, only 2 people are allowed in here at any one time. Private VC right there, you can see that there's a number 2 right down there, and if I hover over it, it goes away. But nonetheless, there's the number 2. Only 2 people are allowed in that chat, so it's a private VC where you can kind of be all alone with somebody else and have a private conversation. And then down below private VC, we have the live chat. Now, live and recording chat, this is a chat that you want to be in if you're going to be recording, and this is the reason we want people that join the chat, we want them to know that their voice is going to be recorded. And so by being in this chat, if anyone joins it, they automatically know that you should be filming or you're live streaming, and so therefore when they join, they know that their voice is going to be recorded. So that is how all of the voice channels work, which we have each and every one of them because we ended up using them all. Each and every one of these does have a purpose, and they all do get used. And so down below that we have the promotion section. This is where you can advertise your shops. You can talk about shopping in the shopping chat and talk with other people about even trading items instead of using diamonds for currency. And then down below you can actually advertise other things like all of your social media channels and some of your YouTube videos, your Twitch streams, and any other social media that you might have. So let's go ahead and go back up to the top and start with shopping. If we click on the shopping section, we can go ahead and see that we have another thread area just like this. So it's much just like the activities section, and the shopping section is because you can have different shops, and so we wanted to have a place where multiple different threads could be created, so every shop owner could have their own thread where they can advertise for their shop. So let's go ahead and go into the depot right here. The depot is at the strip. It's at 80, -74, and -2158. So it tells you the exact location, tells you what they're selling, and it even has some pictures of what the shop looks like. And then the current stock is all right here, and look at how much that actually sells. And this way you don't actually have to fly there to find out what they have. You can look right here and find out everything that they have in stock. And not to mention, you'll know right where everything is, which will actually save you a lot of time and a lot of money, because you'll be spending a lot of money on rockets getting around the server. But nonetheless, at the top of the shopping chat there is the Krusty Crew shopping rules. If you want to create your own shopping area, regardless of where it is, you're gonna definitely want to go read these and make sure that you know all of these rules before you actually create your own shop. It also has some rules in here about how to create your own advert here in this thread. And that just about covers the entire promotion section, because as I said earlier, the shopping thread area right here, this is going to be just like this, where all of the different adverts are. The shopping chat down below that is a area where you can actually just have a conversation with somebody and be like, hey, does anybody have this material? I'd be willing to give you this other material or whatever in exchange for it. And you can actually find stuff that may be not in the shopping districts, that may not be available there. And then down here, down in media, again, this is for your social media. If you want to go ahead and advertise your social media, regardless of what it is, you can go ahead and do it down here. But down below that, we actually have the projects section, which encases all of the different projects that we have going on in KrustyKraft. And you'll notice that the first chat is bases. These are your projects. Now over here, you can see that if we open up bases, it's a thread channel just like this, where all these other chats show up on the right hand side. And the first chat you're going to see is the KrustyKraft Bases rules. Please have a look at this before you get started, and it'll show you how to build your own little bases chats. So you can go ahead and make a little chat for your base, kind of like how Tally is right here. He's actually getting started. He doesn't have any photos yet. Let's show you a good example here. So this guy is actually, this is Yoff. This is one of my good friends, and he's creating something here. It looks like it might be a longhouse. Okay, so you can keep track of all of your base progress and all of the updates as you do your project, and keep everybody up to date. Look at that. It's actually coming along pretty nice. And it's really, look at that. Look at that. That's actually pretty awesome. Oh man, so you might want to take a look through here and see what everybody's bases have to offer. And when you get ready to make a base of your own, you're going to want to go ahead and go in here, share with everybody where it's at, and that way that area will be claimed by you. So when new players come on here and they want to find a base location, this is the first place you really want to go and kind of find out where everyone's based at. And then that way, if you're in an area where you see someone around you, more than likely you'll find that house in here somewhere, and you'll find out who it belongs to, so you can talk to that person and figure out if you can base near them or by them or whatever the case may be. Now, as people update their bases chat, they're going to be writing in here, updating their stuff, and you'll see that down over here, the Dark Orc base. Let's go ahead and check that out here. So this is my base, actually, and it looks like I've got a new message in here. It looks like maybe somebody reacted to one of my things, but this is an update from a long time ago. I've actually got 2 more houses up here, and I need to update my own base chat. And under bases, you're going to see Biome Box. Biome Box was the project when we actually had this going on, the Biome Box station. So you could see that the rewards were right there. This is an entire project where people could build a little Biome Box area, and the Biome Boxes are the same ones that are in the keep that we showed you in the world tour. And this is the projects that happened, and people on the server actually built all of these rooms, and so they would win Krusty coins for participating. And the reward was actually being increased to 25 Krusty coins per decorated Biome Box station. So you could actually get involved with this, and if we have more Biome Boxes, this is the chat that project would be taking place in. And again, some of these projects are threads just like this, as we were talking about earlier. They have these little speech bubbles right here, which means that when you open this, you're going to get all of these other chats right here. This is where you can go in and check out all of what everyone else is talking about. And as I said earlier, if you want to pause the video and check out these chats and see what they're all about, feel free to do so. And when you come back, we're going to go ahead and start with the Nether Hub. This is, again, the Nether Hub rules. This is something that you're going to want to make sure that you do when you're creating your own Nether Hub tunnel. These are the rules to the Nether Hubs, so you go ahead and kind of just, follow along with the etiquette that we have going on and not leaving any holes in the floor or holes in the wall or things like that. It's pretty much common sense stuff. But nonetheless, we want to keep our Nether Hub nice for everybody because it's a communal area. And so just make sure you take a look at these before you go building your own Nether Hub. And again, this too is another thread chat just like this, where we have the rules in the chat in 2 different threads. Next up is Utopia. Utopia is Underground Utopia for short, and they have quite a few threads in here. This is a lot for their members only area, but also for the public area too. So go ahead and have a browse through these, check these all out, because this is a lot of good stuff here. You're actually going to want to know a lot about what's going on with Underground Utopia, because if you become a member, you actually get a lot of perks, and so I definitely recommend checking this out. And you can see right here that they even keep track of their member list, and therefore they know who their members are. Once you're done checking out Utopia, go ahead and come on over here down below to Games. Now this is not a thread, this is your regular chat, so I know most of you guys are going to like this one. But the Games chat, it was kind of like a lot of the projects and stuff that we had going on. And so these are all of the actual building of the games and things that were coming soon to KrustyKraft. And there's a lot of things in here, like this was Spud Corp, Spud Buds. This was a game by Amber, Old Potato, and it is so fun. If you guys get into the server and you guys get to go to this place, be sure to go check out some of their games because they are so fun to play. Don't get this chat confused with the activities chat. The project and the activities are separate. So if we go up to activities here, we can go into activities and we can see that there is the gaming district competition right here. And so we do have this chat as well. This is where the actual competitions happen. The other one is a project chat. So if we look down here, this is in the project section. And if we look down here, the games in the project section, this is the actual construction of the games. And that's where we talk about this kind of stuff in this chat. And just under games, we have the end chat. Now, last time we were talking to you guys about Discord, we were talking about this end safety project. That has since been completed, and that whole thing went really, really awesome. So we actually had that event down here. This is when it started, was this April 11th, and so that was actually pretty awesome. That was a really fun one, and we actually built all of this to make it all safe, and so now the end is looking pretty good. Now that we're that far into the present, we're actually all the way down here now. Let's jump to present, and we actually have a project like this going on. We're going to be trying to build this now, and so hopefully you guys can get in on that, because this is a big project that'll be lasting a while. And of course, anything to do with project in the end would happen inside of this chat. And next, just under the end chat, we have the redstone chat. The redstone chat is a thread chat where we have these little chats over here off to the right. And up here on the top in the redstone chat right here, you can see that you can just about chat about anything redstone related. You could post pictures of the redstone builds and kind of ask for help and see what's going on and see if any of us can help you. And as you can see, it's actually a quite active chat. We actually do offer quite a lot of help in here. As time goes on, more and more people suggest more and more farms that they would like to build. And as time goes on, we go ahead and list those farms out in the rejected or the approved redstone list. And so if you have a farm that you'd like to build, please check out these areas first and make sure that they're either approved or rejected, and you know whether or not you can build them or not. And once you go ahead and go through here, also too, if it's not in there, here's the redstone rules that if you wanted to create something of your own, then you would want to follow these rules. As you can see in the approved redstone list, there's a bunch of these farms up here and a bunch of builds that have all been approved already. And same goes for all of the other farms that have been rejected. So if you're going to be building redstone, then be sure to go ahead and stop and look at these chats right here. And if you have any questions, go up to the redstone chat and ask us up in there. And next, just under redstone, we have the tavern. This is Toby's Tavern, where a lot of new players like to start their journey here on KrustyKraft because it's a safe place to stay while they gather a bunch of stuff to make a base of their own. Here's where you can go ahead and check this out. If you want to look at the introduction here, here's a couple pictures of the tavern and also a cool story that goes along with it, so you can check this out in that chat. Up here we have the tavern chat, and in the tavern chat is where you can converse with all the other people that are staying in the tavern, and also you can converse with Toby and get to know him and let him know that you're staying here. And next, just under the tavern, we have Crossroads. Crossroads is a really cool one. This is by Witch's Cauldron. Witch's Cauldron has done a really cool thing. He's actually made a like an organization that actually goes out and it makes basically roads that go to different people's bases, and he's doing that all around the server. So some of these roads are thousands of blocks long, which is really impressive, and it's really cool to do. And so he gets people together and they work on these projects, and this is where you can do that. Crossroads is a thread-based chat, so again we have these chats that are over here on the right hand side, and then over here this is where all of the conversation is happening on the far side. Now again, like I said earlier in the video, on mobile it's going to look a little different, but if you open up these chats, it'll open up these chats over here where you can talk, and you'll figure that out as you go through all of these threads. Now, if you want to opt in your base for this Crossroad, you can go right here and actually say, I want to have my base be part of this Crossroads project, so can you bring a road to my base? And you can actually do that right there. You can become a member and actually participate in the projects, and there's areas where donations are accepted right here, and it'll let you know whether that's going to be, and all these different threads. So go ahead and check these out, because this is a really cool project that he's got going on. And Witch's Cauldron is a really awesome dude. He's super friendly and super nice. And not to mention, he's all about the community. So next, we're going to go ahead and come on down to Markets, which is just under Crossroads. The Markets is another thread-based chat, but it's only got one thread in here. And so this is the Markets chat, where all of the markets are just out in front of spawn before you get to the keep. And this is where all of those are. And you can go ahead and claim a market, and this is where you'd go ahead and chat about that. And it has all of the rules in here and all of the locations of all the shops. So be sure to check out this if you want to go ahead and get involved and claim a market, or even getting to know the market when you first join. Now, this entire project section, because that just about wraps up all of the chats that are inside the projects there, this section is subject to change. More and more projects are going to happen as the server grows and becomes older, and new projects are going to be adding to this. So this is basically a rundown of what we have currently, and if there's new ones, you're going to want to check those out and see what they're all about. Because without further ado, we're going on down to server chat. This is one of the coolest things here on KrustyKraft. You can actually take your phone or any other device that has access to the internet, get onto Discord, and you can come in here and you can chat directly with the people in game, in the game chat. So this is a bot that allows us to do that, where it'll take the text that you send here and throw it right into the game chat and go back and forth, so you can chat with people live as they're playing in game. And next up in the server bot section is the Piggy bot. This is a bot that keeps track of all of our points. As you talk in the Discord, you earn points. Piggy keeps track of that, and as you level up and earn points, you earn new badges and new roles and new little benefits. As you increase your points and your level, you'll increase and get more perks. In this chat is where you go ahead and see how many points you have and what level you are and what role has been added for that level. And this is just something fun we do. There's really nothing to it, but these basically concludes the server bot section of the server. You have the server chat and you have the Piggy bot, which do these things. So next we have the recruits chat. This is where all of the new recruits are going to be able to see, and you yourself was a new recruit at one point, and you saw these chats as well. So as you can see, this is where you can converse with all of the new people on the server. It looks like I have an @ symbol in there, but this is where everyone can chat with all of the new people that haven't become a member yet. And so if you want to say hello and be friendly and let everybody know who you are and get to know all the new people, then this is where you do that. In the showcases, this is where new people can check it out, but if you haven't seen this, you can check this out yourself. Is that this is kind of where everything in the server is. This is where we've showcased pretty much everything in the entire server, and this is a pretty neat area. I mean, look at this. This is so beautiful to go through, so I highly recommend checking out these chats if you haven't gone through them. And then in the library chat, we actually have all of the different seasons from Season 9 all the way down to Season 1. KrustyKraft has been running for over 10 years now, and 10 years is quite a long time, and we've had 9 seasons, and we really get into the hang of making seasons last a long time. The issue with all of these other previous seasons is that we always ran into either lag issues or people quit and they wanted to restart or something of that nature. We've been trying to make a world last for a long time, and finally on this world, we're 3 years in, and we're still running, and there's no end in sight. But if you want to see everything that we've been through to get to where we are, this is where it's all at. So if you take a look in these chats, you'll notice that I have some YouTube videos in here from every single season, and I've YouTubed every single season as a Let's Play. So I'll left a link to my playlist down below where you can go ahead and check those out and see all of the different seasons here on KrustyKraft. And so that's pretty fun. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened from the very beginning all the way to now. It's quite a story, and it's quite fun. So I recommend checking that out because it was a lot of good memories. Not to mention it'll keep you busy for quite a while. But nonetheless, that pretty much concludes the Discord server tour. And because the next section is welcome, which you already went through the entire recruitment process, so I'm not going to take you back through that again. But nonetheless, that is pretty much the entire server tour there. There is one more thing that I want to go over, and I want to start back at the top, and that's the pinned messages. If you look in every single chat, you'll see that there's this little pin right here, just like this, and I believe on mobile it might be somewhere else, but you can go ahead and see it right up there. And if you look at the pin messages, it'll show you all the important things in every single chat, so make sure that you check that out because every single chat does have cool things in it. Like I think in the Krusty Crew chat, if you open up pinned messages, it actually has the world seed right there for you. So if you guys want to know the seed, all the different information that's in all the different chats that are pinned is rather important. So I definitely recommend checking out every single chat and all the pinned messages inside of there. Some will have pinned messages and others won't. And one more chat I'd like to show you pins in is the Redstone chat. The Redstone chat does have a pin section, but you can't see that little bobby pin. What you're going to do is you're going to click the 3 dots up here, and you're going to see pins right here. If you click on pins, it'll show you all the different cool things that we've done for you, and we've actually laid out quite a few different things. If you check this out, this is how to lay in a wither cage. This is how to do mob spawning, and this is how to spawn a wither so that it spawns correctly wherever you want it to go. So there's a lot of good notes in here and a lot of good information. And while you're looking up all this information, I recommend just taking the rest of the time to go ahead and go through all the pins and all the different chats. And while you're doing it for your first time, get all the information that you can so you can know everything there is to know about the KrustyKraft Discord. The more you participate in Discord, the more connected you're going to feel with the community. This is where friendships are built, ideas become massive projects, and the server continues to grow. KrustyKraft isn't just another Minecraft server. It's a community of creative players who genuinely enjoy building incredible things together. It's a place where stories unfold, but the adventures never really end. Welcome to KrustyKraft, the place you can call home. And thanks for watching. If you guys would like to learn more about KrustyKraft, then I'll leave a couple links to these playlists up on the screen. Right up here we have Season 1, which wasn't KrustyKraft back then, and I made my very first YouTube video in this playlist, so go ahead and check that out. But if you guys would like to see this season, that'll be Season 9, that'll be right here. So go ahead and check these out, they're a lot of fun, and thank you guys so much for watching. Welcome to KrustyKraft, and I can't wait to play with you guys on the server soon. Take care everybody, and we'll see you guys soon.